This chicken spaghetti pie is going to be delicious. For those of you who don't know, baked chicken spaghetti casserole is a southern dish based on shredded chicken, spaghetti, canned soup, and cheese. Since I've been exploring savory pies based on classic southern dishes, I said, why not make a chicken spaghetti pie? You can't have a pie without a pie crust, so here I have my 9-inch pie crust, homemade, but you could definitely use store bought or your own recipe. This is not baked, it is raw. We're going to put it in unbaked. Of course, the spaghetti, I'm using 4 ounces or 114 grams or 1/4 of a 1 pound bag of whole wheat spaghetti. I boiled some water on high heat with a bit of salt. Then I added the spaghetti, boiled for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally, and then drained it. To that, I'm going to add half a tablespoon of melted butter. The chicken. For the chicken, you can use chicken breast, rotisserie chicken, leftover chicken from something. What I did is I took 2 chicken leg quarters, which together came to be a little less than 2 pounds. I took off the skin and most of the fat, and I boiled the chicken leg quarters in my homemade vegetable broth. Whenever I'm making a recipe with chicken, that's what I usually do. I took the meat off the bone and it came out to be a little under 1 1/4 cups, 283 grams. But honestly, I think a cup of, like I said, chicken breast, chicken off a rotisserie chicken or baked chicken, you'll be fine. I am, of course, adding canned soup because, like I said, that's one of the common ingredients in chicken spaghetti casserole. I'm using 1 10.5 ounce can of cream of chicken soup, 298 grams. I think most recipes call for cream of chicken soup, but I've seen cream of mushroom. If you don't want to use canned soup, I would use a little over a cup, maybe between 1 cup and 1.5 cups of sour cream. It will help give it the creaminess of the canned soup. It will make it kind of tangy, but I think that that would actually be good. So that's an option. For the cheese, I'm doing 1 8-ounce block of mild cheddar. Half of it is going to go in with the spaghetti and half with the topping. I'm going to make a topping of the cheese, half of an 8-ounce block, and 1/4 cup or 60 grams of sour cream. I'll get to that later. Adding some vegetables, half of a 16-ounce bag of frozen vegetables, about 220 grams, along with half of a red bell pepper, about 100 grams, microwaved on high for 7 minutes, and then I took the cover off and I kept stirring it so that it would dry out. I think one of the keys to making a successful chicken spaghetti pie is going to be making sure that everything is dry, because if it's not dry, it's going to be runny. I'm going to add an egg just to help bind everything, and also some spices. Don't get me wrong, the canned cream of chicken soup is definitely going to add flavor, but I didn't feel like it had a lot of spice. It had a lot of chicken flavor, but not spices. So I'm adding half a teaspoon each of parsley, black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And also I'm going to add a little bit of salt to the chicken, just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt the butter in the microwave, and then I'm going to add my spaghetti and everything else to this bowl. I melted the butter, added the spaghetti, and then added the chicken. I decided to use just about a cup, so I didn't use all of it. And as I added the chicken, I just shredded it a bit with my fingers so that the chicken would be a little bit more evenly distributed, and there would be not chicken in every bite, but there would be chicken in most bites. Now I'm going to add the canned cream of chicken soup. I'm just going to stir it up really quickly. I think this chicken spaghetti pie is going to require all of this, but if it does not, I will let you know. I'm going to add maybe half, and then I'm going to stir, and if I do need to add more, I will add more. I added the canned condensed soup, and as you can see, it's really creamy now. I used the whole can, the whole 10.5 ounce can, and one thing that I noticed is that the chicken seems to be more evenly distributed in the spaghetti. That's because before I added the soup, the chicken was kind of clumping on the bottom, but the condensed soup, it's helping the spaghetti to hold the chicken better, if that makes sense. So definitely sour cream or condensed soup, it's gonna make this a lot better. Now I'm gonna add my vegetables. As you can see, I mixed in the vegetables with the chicken and the spaghetti. And I also added the cheese. I put maybe between 1/4 and 1/3 of the cheese that I had reserved over here into the pie plate, into the pie crust. That's to kind of form a floor so that if the filling does get watery, hopefully it won't make the bottom crust soggy. Before I add my egg, I'm going to add my spices. I already tasted it and it does taste good, but like I said, the canned cream of chicken soup, it was definitely good. It had a lot of chicken flavor, but not a lot of spice flavor. So I'm going to add first half of this. So we'll say 1/4 teaspoon each. Then I'm going to taste it, then I'll see if it needs more. I added half of the spices, I tasted it, and I realized it needs some more, so then I added all the spices. Now I'm going to add my egg, break it off to the side first, just to be on the safe side. I honestly might add more than one egg. We'll see. Even though I had already added the egg, I tasted it one more time and I said, you know what? This is good, but I think it's missing something. So I'm going to add half a teaspoon of dried basil and half a teaspoon of oregano. I added a little bit of basil over there and then I tried it and it was really good. So I'm going to add oregano and basil to this chicken spaghetti. So basically it's spiced like it has tomato sauce, but it doesn't. I added the final spices. I gave it 5 or 6 shakes of salt, just like that. I ended up not adding another egg. I think it'll be okay. Now I'm going to put the chicken and spaghetti into the pie. I have my spatula here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press it down. The chicken and spaghetti filling is now in the pie shell. As you can see, it is very full. I honestly think it'll be fine. I was imagining it wouldn't be quite as full as this, but I forgot to consider, oh yeah, unlike my spaghetti pie, I don't know when that'll go up, I sauteed the vegetables and the ground beef, so they lost a lot of moisture, but that didn't happen with these vegetables, so they're taking up more space. If you want it to fit a little, I mean, this is fine, but maybe half of the amount of vegetables I use, so 1/4 of a 1 pound bag might be better depending upon how full you want your pie to be. My topping is ready. I just mixed together the half a block of mild cheddar and the 1/4 cup of sour cream, along with a dash, 1/8 of a teaspoon each of the spices that I used before: black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, parsley, and basil. Now I'm putting the topping in dollops on the top. Then I'm going to spread them out. I love how colorful it looks already. My chicken and spaghetti pie is now ready for the oven. I spread out the topping. Be sure to put it on a cookie sheet, or in my case a pizza pan, before you put it into the oven, just in case it does boil over. I just pulled my chicken spaghetti pie out of the oven. It was in at 350 uncovered for about 50 minutes, maybe 47, 48 minutes, but you could just say 50. Honestly, I think it was done at 40. I just wanted to get the cheese a little bit more brown. Although it's very tempting, you should wait 20 to 30 minutes before digging in so that the pie holds its shape once cut. Waiting to slice into this was very difficult for me because, as you can see, it looked absolutely incredible. And it tasted just as good as it looked. This chicken spaghetti pie was incredibly delicious. It had a lot of nice chicken flavor, both from the bits of chicken as well as the canned condensed cream of chicken soup. The vegetables added a lot of flavor as well as color, and the extra spices made up for the lack of flavor besides the chicken flavor in the canned condensed soup. The cheese not only helped to hold everything together, but it also added a lot of flavor. The sour cream and cheese topping was the icing on the cake, shall we say. The bit of tang adding a flavor that was the finishing touch to this chicken spaghetti casserole pie. As you saw in my sneak peek with the glimpse of the pizza pie, I've been experimenting with a lot of savory pie recipes recently. I've been taking common dishes, especially common southern dishes, and turning them into pies. Like I said, I was really pleased with how this chicken spaghetti pie turned out because I feel like from both a flavor and an artistic, shall we say, point of view, I did a really good job of capturing the essence of the southern chicken spaghetti casserole and turning it into a pie. I felt like I did a good job of representing all the parts of the traditional recipe in pie form. One thing I might change in the future is that I probably won't use the canned cream of chicken soup again. Although it was good, it didn't have a lot of flavor besides chicken flavor, and honestly, it did have a bit of an aftertaste. I wouldn't say that the aftertaste was bad, it was just a bit unexpected. So as I said earlier in this video, I think I'm going to try sour cream, probably half a cup, maybe a cup, I'm not exactly sure, of sour cream. And it also came to me that there are packets of powdered soup, like onion soup or mushroom soup or chicken soup, maybe a packet or two of the powdered soup that you usually just add to water, combined with the sour cream would be a good way of adding creaminess and extra flavor. I also wanted to point out that although most southern chicken spaghetti casseroles don't have as many vegetables as this pie does, I thought that the vegetables were a good touch, not only because of flavor and color, but also because it makes the dish a bit healthier. Adding vegetables to this would be a great way to sneak some vegetables into your family's dinner. Like I said, this chicken spaghetti pie was a really good pie version of a traditional southern casserole. Served with a side salad, I think everyone would think that this is a fantastic meal. I have a lot of other savory pie recipes coming up, so stay tuned. I'm really excited to share them with you, and I think you're really going to love them. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.